Hello, everyone, and good evening to you all. My name is Felton Parker. Today is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. As always, each day is a wonderful day to be blessed by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I sincerely hope you folks had a truly blessed and wonderful Wednesday. What I have for you guys in tonight's video is the list of all the National Day holidays from my National Day calendar segment. That includes my featured National Day holiday. Also tonight, right after my National Day calendar segment, I'll have my famous birthday segment for you guys, where it features our famous people who were born on this day. And also tonight in my weather segment, I will let you all know exactly what we're expecting for tomorrow, which is Thursday, for your Friday, the upcoming weekend, and on to the first half of next week. So without further ado, let's get things started here on this Wednesday night as I begin my National Day calendar segment here. And of course, in case you guys have forgotten, today was World Autism Awareness Day, and I'm sure that many of you, in case you're not familiar with autism, I'm about to explain to you guys more about the disorder, because I happen to be an autistic individual, and I've had this disorder for at least 37, going on 38 years now. So I was first diagnosed when I had autism back when I was a 3-year-old. Of course, that would be 38 years ago. But and I was found out that from my doctors that I was first. Now, about me, Felton Parker, I am considered an individual with autism, and I've had this disorder since I was at the age of 3, as I just mentioned. And of course, I've experienced difficulties socializing and interacting with other people, and of course, I've come a long way from that, and I've many acquaintances who I consider as friends, but not close friends. You know, but either way, God has me. God has me fully under control, no matter what. So, and I'm highly fascinated with certain areas of my life, such as memorizing the days of the week. You know, that's like a autistic savant, where they concentrate specifically on one particular thing. Another thing about me is that I'm very fascinated with the weather, and of course I've had this disorder through most of my life, so I've become upset about it at times. But through it all, I was diagnosed again when I was 18, and most recently when I was 33. So just letting you guys know exactly the condition of autism. So remember, now of course you see me with my blue shirt. Of course, I've worn this shirt. I've worn this shirt quite a few times. I'm sure you guys may have seen me wearing this shirt a few times before. Of course, each of my shirts, I'm supporting autism awareness for the entire month of April. So I am showing my blue to support those with autism, including myself. And of course, today happened to be World Autism Awareness Day. Of course, about the shirt that I'm wearing, it's the first time I've worn this shirt since sometime last year. I haven't worn it in a while. But again, today was World Autism Awareness Day. Each year on this day, World Autism Awareness Day, or WAAD, each year on this day, World Autism Awareness Day, or WAAD, excuse me. Each year on this day, World Autism Awareness Day, or WAAD, shines a bright light on a growing global health crisis. Each year on this day, World Autism Awareness Day, or WAAD, shines a bright light on a growing global health crisis. Hashtag World Autism Awareness Day, or hashtag WAAD. According to the National Autism Association, autism affects 1 in 59 children. The bioneurological developmental disability usually presents itself by the age of 3. Of course, that's exactly how old I was when I was first diagnosed with it. And it is more prevalent in boys than girls. As children with autism grow older, they face all sorts of obstacles. Because many don't speak or use social cues as compared to normal people, they become targets for bullies or they are excluded altogether. Children with autism are also vulnerable to drowning because they wander from their homes and schools. Due to their inability to communicate, they cannot tell someone their name or where they live either. Additionally, adults are more likely to be unemployed or underemployed. However, resources are available for families and schools to help keep children safe and to support them lead happy and healthy lives. Visit the National Autism Association website for resources, guides, and tips for families and schools. Today also focuses on the growing need for programs designed to support those with autism now and in the future. Here's how to observe. World Autism Awareness Day. Host an event supporting autism awareness. Attend an event and show your support for someone you know. Share your story and make your voice heard. While they celebrate the stories and lives of those with autism, it is also important to remember that autism is a lifelong condition with varying degrees of severity. It's important to continue to support research for treatment and therapies that will improve the lives of those with autism, including myself. Speak out about autism to help eliminate the stigma associated with it. And use hashtag World Autism Day to share on social media. I'm sure I've seen many posts about autism awareness throughout this day on Facebook and Instagram. Doctors diagnose autism using a set of criteria based on behaviors. There are no blood tests to diagnose autism. The spectrum disorder. Autism symptoms vary from mild to severe. I'm considered a mild and sometimes severe autistic individual. Autism symptoms vary from mild to severe. Additionally, the types of symptoms vary as well. That is why it is called a spectrum disorder. So, of course, a few months ago, I went to spoke at the Holy Angels. They're out on Ellaby Road in Southeast Shreveport to parents with children with autism and telling them my story. Of course, I've had the chance to meet the parents with autism, and I will be more than beyond thrilled and very happy to meet these parents sometime and again real soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be before the end of the school year, because the end of the school year is exactly another month away. So if it's not if it's not anytime soon, it'll probably be sometime like during the fall when the next school year begins later on this year. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit more about Autism Awareness Day. So here's a little more about Autism Awareness Day, observed each year on this day. So it is observed each year on. So remember, mark your calendar. So remember, each year on April 2nd, regardless of the day of the week it falls on, is World Autism Awareness Day. World Autism Awareness Day is internationally recognized each year on April 2nd, encouraging member states of the United Nations to take measures to raise awareness about autistic individuals throughout the world. It was designated by the United Nations General Assembly resolution passing council on November 1st, 2007, and it was adopted on December 18th, 2007. It was proposed by Moza bint Nasser Al-Misri, the United Nations representative for Qatar, and supported by all member states. The resolution was passed and adopted without a vote in the UN General Assembly, mainly as a supplement to previous UN initiatives to improve human rights. World Autism Day is one of only 7 official health-specific UN days. The terms Autism Awareness Day and Autism Awareness Month are sometimes contested by autism rights advocates who claim that they feed into ableism against autistic people. Such groups, including the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, advocate using the term Autism Acceptance Day as a counter-celebration for both events under the belief that it promotes overcoming anti-autism prejudice rather than simply increasing awareness of autism. Because besides this International Autism Day, the Autistic Pride Day is held yearly on June 18th a Pride celebration which recognized the importance of pride for autistic people and its role in bringing about positive changes in the broader society. Here are the components. The original resolution had 4 main components. The establishment of the second day of April as World Autism Awareness Day, which began in 2008. Invitation to member states and other relevant organizations to the UN or to the international societal system, including non-governmental organizations in the private sector, to create initiatives to raise public awareness of autism. Encourages member states to raise awareness of autism on all levels in society. Ask the UN Secretary General to deliver this message to member states and all of the UN organizations. So each year since as of 2012, each World Autism Awareness Day has focused on a specific theme determined by the UN. And of course, the theme for 2025 is Advancing Neurodiversity in the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Wednesday. In 2014, World Autism Awareness Day coincided with Wednesday, a day created by the National Autistic Society to encourage people in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland to show their support for anyone on the autistic spectrum. By wearing the onesie or pajamas, participants are saying, quote, "It's all right to be different," end quote. And of course, April 2nd, 2014 happened to be a Wednesday. Outcomes in the United States. In a 2015 presidential proclamation, President Barack Obama highlighted some of the initiatives that the U.S. government was taking to bring rights to those with autism and to bring awareness to the disorder. He highlighted things like the Affordable Care Act, which prohibits excuse me. He highlighted things like the Affordable Care Act, which prohibits health insurance companies from denying coverage based on a pre-existing condition such as autism. He also pointed out the Autism Cares Act of 2014, which provides higher level training for those who are serving citizens on the autism spectrum. Earlier today, on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, President Donald Trump proclaimed the day in the United States. So regardless what day of the week Autism Awareness Day falls on, it was always be observed on April 2nd. And do not miss the next World Autism Awareness Day. It will be observed exactly a year from today. On next year, World Autism Awareness Day in 2026 will be on a Thursday. In fact, this year World Autism Awareness Day is 18 days before Easter. Next year it would only be 3 days before Easter. And of course, last year it was only 2 days after Easter. So without doubt, April 2nd just happens to be one of my favorite days of the year because it is all about the disorder that I have. And of course, like I said, I've had this disorder since I was the age of 3, due to me being nonverbal at least until I was almost 6 years old, or probably even going on 7. But I was nonverbal at least until I was either 6 or 7 years old. I was nonverbal. Even then, even when I turned 10, I still was partially nonverbal in some areas. So I had to be at like a very late age in order for me to become fully verbal, because I would whisper certain words that I would be experiencing jitters or just simply afraid or nervous to just say them out loud. And so it wasn't until I was maybe 13 or 14 when I began to saying almost every word out loud. So I was pretty late. So I was pretty delayed. And so it's typical for an individual growing up with individual as a child with autism being nonverbal, because up until at least I was almost 10 or maybe 11, I was considered to be partially nonverbal. So it had to take lots of practice for me to fully say words out loud. It had to take a lot. So that's why. So, however, because I think I was becoming fully verbal by the time I was 14 or 15, that I've succeeded that I was told when I was 15 years old that I no longer needed speech therapy. So that's what has happened to be the history of me. I just thought I'd share this with you all in reference to World Autism Awareness Day, because that is and that's what I have. And do not forget, just remember each year on April 2nd, always remember that the day is designated as World Autism Awareness Day, regardless what day of the week it falls on. Now, and of course, that's not only what today, and also that's not the only national day holiday it was. Actually, it's an international observance. Today, of course, was Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. Each year on this day, National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day creates a classic food favorite. The average American will, of course, I've eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a time in my life, well, as a child, but not as an adult. Each year on this day, April 2nd, National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day celebrates a classic food favorite. The average American will have eaten over 2,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches by the time they graduate from high school. I mean, who doesn't eat them? Hashtag Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. Peanut butter was considered a delicacy in the early 1900s and was only served in New York City's finest tea rooms. In a May 1896 article published in the Good Housekeeping magazine, the recipe urged homemakers to use a meat grinder to make peanut butter and spread the result on bread. That same year in June, the culinary magazine Table Talk published a peanut butter sandwich recipe. It is thought that Julia Davis Chandler issued the first reference to peanut butter paired with jelly on bread in the United States in 1901. Her article is found in the Boston Cooking School magazine of culinary science and domestic economics. In the late 1920s, the price of peanut butter declined and the sandwich became very popular with children. According to the Peanut Board during World War II, both peanut butter and jelly were part of the United States soldiers' military ration list. In 1968, the J.M. Smucker Company introduced Goober. In 1968, the J.M. Smucker Company introduced Goober, a jarred product that combined alternating vertical stripes of peanut butter and jelly. So here's how to observe: eat something with peanut butter and jelly, or maybe just maybe you can eat something that with peanut butter and jelly. It may be a good day to try something different. So here are the following few ideas: cupcakes, French toast pie, French toast pie, sushi, cookies, donuts, pancakes, fudge, waffles, cheesecakes, anything you can consider with peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly do not necessarily have to go on bread. Peanut butter and jelly go well on crackers and ice cream and many other foods. Just try it out. So it clearly does not matter what kind of jelly to use. Though many people like grape jellies, though most people prefer grape jelly, strawberry, raspberry, or peach. Apple butter even tastes delicious with peanut butter. However, a 2022 poll by the National Day Calendar reveals that 43% of respondents prefer strawberry over grape. When it comes to making the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it is important to make it with the peanut butter you prefer, even if it's store-bought, such as Peter Pan or Jif. However, a recent poll showed creamy peanut butter being the clear choice by respondents. So, if you want that creamy, smoother texture, then the preference would be either Peter Pan or Jif. Because they're both very popular. They both have been popular peanut butter brands over the years. You know, like jelly, like Smuckers and such as Smuckers. So, how about enjoy some PB&J, a children's favorite, and of course, the peanut butter and jelly was the thing to eat as a child, for me to eat as a child. Also, today was National DIY Day, or Do It Yourself. Okay, Also, today was National DIY Day, or Do It Yourself Day. Child Help Day. Today also was National DIY Day, or Do It Yourself Day. Child Help National Day of Hope, National Parade Day, National Walking Day, and also today was National Reconciliation Day. But to me, the main topic of today is that today was World Autism Awareness Day, as I mentioned earlier. So Here are famous people who were born on this day, Wednesday, April 2nd. So here are famous people who were born on this day, Wednesday, April 2nd. Country singer Jack Bryan. Here are famous people who were born on this day, Wednesday, April 2nd. Country singer Zach Bryan turns 29. Pop singer Daniel Seavey turns 26. TV actor Pedro Pascal turns 50. Movie actress Emma Myers turns 23. Rapper Quavo turns 34. Movie actress Rosalind Sanchez turns 52. Movie actor Michael Fassbender turns 48. TV actress Bethany Jordan Lange turns 44. Comedian Carius Miller turns 42. TV actor Herman Tomares turns 28. TV actress Sophie Reynolds turns 26. Baseball player Austin Riley turns 28. TV actor Drew Van Acker turns 39. TV actress Cissa Balangog turns 24. Radio host Bobby Bones turns 45. TV actor Christopher Melanie turns 64 and 64. So those are your following people, famous people who were born on this day, Wednesday, April 2nd. Excuse me. So if you guys have not heard, we lost one of. So if you got in the event, you guys have not heard a famous Hollywood movie actor had passed away. Val Kilmer. Born Val Edward Kilmer, Val Kilmer was an American actor initially. Born Val Edward Kilmer, Val Kilmer was an American actor, initially a stage actor. He later found fame as a leading man in films in a wide variety of genres, including comedies, dramas, action-adventures, westerns, historical films, crime dramas, science fiction films, and fantasy films. Films in which Kilmer appeared grossed more than $3.8 billion worldwide. In 1992, film critic Roger Ebert remarked, quote, "If there's an award for the most unsung..." In 1992, film critic Roger Ebert remarked, quote, "If there is an award for the most unsung leading man of this generation, Kilmer should get it," end quote. Kilmer started his film career in the comedy films Top Secret and Real Genius before transitioning to dramatic films. He rose to prominence for playing Iceman in Top Gun, Jim Morrison in The Doors, Doc Holliday in Tombstone, and Batman Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever. He also gained acclaim for his roles in Willow, True Romance, and Heat. His later films including The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Ghost in the Darkness, The Saint, The Prince of Egypt, Alexander, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Deja Vu, and The Snowman. Kilmer made his final film appearance in Top Gun Maverick, reprising his role from the original film. On stage, Kilmer made his Broadway debut acting in a John Byrne working class play in The Slab Boys. He also acted in productions of William Shakespeare's history play Henry IV Part 1 and in a John Ford tragedy, 'Tis Pity She's a Whore, both at the Public Theater. He portrayed Mark Twain in a one-man show he had written entitled Citizen Twain in a 2012 production in Los Angeles. In 2015, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer. He subsequently underwent a tracheal procedure that damaged his vocal cords, leaving him with severely difficulties In 2015, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer. He subsequently underwent a tracheal procedure that damaged his vocal cords, leaving him with severe difficulty speaking. He also underwent chemotherapy. And 2 tracheotomies, and died of pneumonia in 2025. Just on Tuesday yesterday. He released his memoir, Amir Huckleberry, a memoir, and the documentary Vow, both of which details his struggles over his health and career. Kilmer was a lifelong Christian Scientist, and upon his throat cancer diagnosis referred to it in the press as the suggestion of throat cancer, opting not to explicitly associate himself with such a diagnosis. He underwent suggested chemotherapy despite it being conventionally against his religion. In 2011, Kilmer sold his 6,000-acre New Mexico ranch where he would trek, hike, fish, and raise bison. Kilmer was an avid musician. He released a demo album called Sessions with Mick in 2007. He was also an avid painter. On Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Kilmer died of pneumonia in Los Angeles at the age of 65. Upon his death, filmmaker Michael Mann wrote, quote, "While working with Val on Heat, I always marveled at the rain." On Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Kilmer died of pneumonia in Los Angeles at the age of 65. Upon his death, filmmaker Michael Mann wrote, quote, "While working with Val on Heat, I always marveled at the range, the brilliant variability within the powerful current of Val's possessing and expressing character. After so many years of Val battling disease and maintaining his spirit, this is tremendously sad news," end quote. Director Francis Ford Coppola wrote, quote, "He was a wonderful person to work with and a joy to know. I will always remember him," end quote. Numerous members of the entertainment industry also paid tribute to Kilmer, including Ron Howard, Josh Brolin, Nicolas Cage, Cher, Michael Douglas, James Woods, Jennifer Connelly, Matthew Modine, Michelle Monaghan, Ben Stiller, Danny Ramirez, David Thewlis, Jim Carrey, Danny Trejo, and Richard Roeper. Again, Val Kilmer passed away at the age of 65 on yesterday's day, which will be Tuesday, April 1st. I just thought I'd give that to you guys' attention. It's about a famous actor in the movie industry through the years since he just passed away. And now, let's focus with you weather, of course. Now some of us now as expected today would be the round one of the very roughly severe weather, and of course today is the first of several rounds of brutally active weather, and of course we were under a multiple severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, but again some parts of the area got severely hit with severe weather earlier this afternoon, especially earlier this afternoon well into the early evening hours. So it's been a very active day for some of us across the region, but if you happen not to get any rain or storms at your house, it's coming to you. Our northern portions of the 4-state region are under a flood watch, which is in effect. A flood watch is in effect this evening through Sunday morning from McCurtain County, Oklahoma, as well as southwest Arkansas and portions of extreme northeast Texas. The threat for flooding exists with widespread rainfall of 48 inches possible. So we have a flood watch in effect. Periods of heavy rain expected through this weekend. This is some parts of the area. Even though the Shreveport, Bossier City area isn't necessarily highlighted, but be prepared for it anyways. And this is mainly across southeast Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas, and portions of extreme northeast Texas. Most likely rainfall between 48 inches are expected. Heavy rain may lead to flooding of low-lying areas, rivers, creeks, and roads. So be prepared. You know the drill. Turn around, don't drown, especially if you're in those areas. Rainfall amounts today through at least Saturday night. The potential for flooding will increase this evening over portions of southern Arkansas and over the remainder of southwest Arkansas, McCurtain County, Oklahoma, and extreme northeast Texas Thursday through Saturday night. Storm total rainfall amounts of 48 inches are expected along and north of the I-30 corridor, with widespread 1/2 to at least 3-inch amounts expected elsewhere. So the further north you go, the heavier your amount of rain will be. Because the further, of course, Shreveport Bossier has at least anywhere between 2 and 3 inches of rain possible. So this is rainfall amounts between today and Saturday night. Mainly this evening through Saturday night through most of the 4-state region, amounts will range from 1.5 inches across deep East Texas and central Louisiana to anywhere between 6 and 8 inches across southeast Oklahoma, adjacent southwest Arkansas. The high amounts of 5 to 8 inches or greater are expected north of the I-30 corridor of northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas. So just be prepared in case very rough weather happens to be coming to your neck of the woods. Now, of course, we have more severe weather on the way for tomorrow. So today of course was the first of multiple rounds of severe weather that we will be dealing with. So so severe weather threat for tomorrow, Thursday, which is Thursday, April 3rd. So the enhanced risk is being concentrated mainly across northeast Texas, a portion of far southeast Oklahoma, and portions of southwest Arkansas. So that puts us the Shreveport Bossier City area under a slight risk. That means we have a few severe thunderstorms possible. And of course, the further south and east you go, the less your severe weather risk will be. Severe weather will return to the Arklatex tomorrow afternoon and evening for portions of extreme southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, southwest Arkansas, and northwest Louisiana. Damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes will be possible with these storms. So severe weather threat for tomorrow. This is level 3 out of 5 for much of the 4-state region, including far extreme northwest Louisiana. They're on an enhanced risk. So be prepared. This is going to be our second round of brutally active rough weather. So tomorrow through tomorrow evening, the highest risks for severe storms along the north of US 82. Here the potential hazards: isolated strong tornadoes are possible, damaging wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or greater, large hail of golf ball size or larger. So be prepared. Have all your devices charged, your smartphones, laptop, PCs, and your tablets, because we have another day of very rough weather on the way. So if you folks got missed on the weather, then there's another chance. This is mainly going to be across portions of Arkansas and northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma. So portions of Arkansas get hit by significant tornadoes. So I'm sure you have been watching the news with the severe weather updates and constantly preempting normally scheduled regular early evening programming. And of course, a flood watch is in effect across northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and portions of southwest Arkansas. Some areas are under a flood warning in like south central to southeast Arkansas. And the wind advisory is in effect from far southeast Arkansas, east Louisiana, western Mississippi, and central and south Louisiana under a wind advisory. But our neck of the woods here in Shreveport Bossier, we're not under a watch or warning. So this is when you need to be prepared for. And of course, now I believe that Shreveport, we barely got anything. We just under a few severe thunderstorm warnings. We had a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Of course, if you've been out earlier today, you notice we've had clouds, and of course, what you're seeing on the Shreveport radar is a line of showers and storms. Much of the activity, not necessarily here in the Shreveport Bossier area, but across northeast Texas and most of southwest and into southern and central Arkansas. That's where you're going to find the heaviest of the rain. Looking on the regional radar, you'll find the heaviest of the rain in far northern Oklahoma, as well as anywhere from northeast Texas all the way into most portions of Arkansas is getting the hardest hit areas, and coming into northern Mississippi and into the states of Tennessee, as well as southeast Missouri into states of Tennessee and Kentucky here on this wing. So that's where the heaviest of the rain is going to be found across the mid-south region of the U.S., including the Memphis, Tennessee metro areas, but their risk of severe weather is at a moderate or higher risk. So let us hope we don't reach that higher level severe weather risk category. We just have to keep our fingers crossed and pray for the ones that are going to be affected, that could be affected by the tornadoes. Of course, this is severe weather season, and of course, this is the time to prepare for brutally active and rough weather to impact our region. So we've seen lots of clouds and rather very breezy conditions throughout the day. So we've had, so of course, it turned out to be, rather breezy, rather very, it turned out to be a very warm day. That's why we had the warm, moist air in place. It turned out to be a very warm and breezy day. Gusts up to over 40 miles per hour at times, with temperatures topping out in mostly in the mid 80s, which is way above normal for this time of year. Temperature outside here on this Wednesday night is 79 degrees with temperature outside here on this Wednesday night is 79 degrees with cloudy skies. Humidity 74%. Dew point is 70 degrees. That lets you know that the air mass is very moist. It is very moist, and it is very moist out there. It's just kind of unusual for this time of year. We have a south wind at 12 miles per hour. That's against a feels like temperature. Heat index 82 degrees. That's what it feels like. It is very warm and muggy out there. Which is quite unusual. The temperature outside is 79 degrees. This is 5 degrees. This is at least 4 degrees warmer than our average high temperature for this time of year. Nothing like spring. That's because we had that very humid tropical air mass in place. Lots of moisture from the Gulf. That's why we're seeing this and combined with the tropical low pressure system. So with that trough, until that cold front starts, we have a frontal bound that's going to stall over the region over the next several days. That's why we're going to keep the decent chances of severe storms in the forecast the next few days. Multi-day potentially catastrophic heavy rainfall and severe weather event. A multi-day potentially historic heavy rainfall event may produce catastrophic and life-threatening flooding from Saturday from the Ozarks into the Ohio River Valley. Several clusters of strong to severe thunderstorms are expected from the southern plains, mid-Mississippi Valley to the Ohio, Tennessee Valley and the mid-Atlantic. So very active. As we go into the second half of the week, very active pattern. So get yourselves prepared. Remember to keep in touch with your loved ones and keep in touch with your family and friends. Keep in touch with your family, your friends, and your neighbors, and be on the lookout for them, to check on them on behalf of their safety. Because we could be in for a prolonged series of very rough weather. So tonight, expect a couple severe thunderstorms. So if we do severe weather threats will be minimum. So we shouldn't see too much. You expect severe storms. Otherwise, it would be breezy this evening. Otherwise, it would be overcast and humid. Expect severe storms. Of course, storms can bring hail and damaging winds. So some parts of the area actually experienced. So we were under a wind advisory. I believe, tornado watch, which is set to expire around midnight tonight. We're under a wind advisory, a tornado watch, and at least 2 severe thunderstorm warnings from the National Weather Service earlier today. Low temperature tonight, 73 degrees, and severe thunderstorms, which can produce hail and damaging winds. Otherwise, it'll be breezy this evening, and cloudy, overcast, and humid. Low temperature, 73 degrees. So we do not drop much overnight tonight. We have that very warm air mass in place. Tonight's low temperature, 73 degrees. That's actually closer to our normal high temperature should be this time of year. So we have a south-southeast wind at 12 miles per hour. We can see gusts up to 33 miles per hour. Now tomorrow, as we go into your Thursday, expect mainly cloudy skies, and otherwise will be breezy and humid with a few thunderstorms. Of course, these storms can bring flash flooding, damaging winds, even in tornadoes. So we have a slight risk of strong to potentially severe storms. So be prepared and have all your devices charged in case your neck gets largely impacted by next round of severe storms as tomorrow is going to your Thursday. High temperature tomorrow, 85 degrees. Of course, that's way above normal for this time of year. High temperature tomorrow, 85 degrees with the south-southeast wind at 15 miles per hour. That's up to 39 miles per hour. Chance of rain during the day is at 80%. So another day of active weather is on the way for tomorrow. So overnight, so temperatures will most likely remain in the 70s. So expect around the storms to occur around 3 a.m. overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. Of course, most of us will be asleep at that time. And by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, for your Thursday, expect cloudy skies, temperature 74 degrees. 9 a.m. tomorrow with thunderstorms. Expect thunderstorms to occur around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with the temperature 75 degrees. Noon tomorrow with another round of thunderstorms expected with the temperature 78 degrees. So remember, grab those umbrellas and make sure you're staying up to date throughout the day. 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon with cloudy skies. Of course, we'll catch another break from the storms with a temperature of 83 degrees. 6 p.m. tomorrow evening with another round of thunderstorms, we should be at 80 degrees. 9 p.m. tomorrow night with mostly cloudy skies, we should be at 77 degrees. So very warm and muggy and humid Thursday setup with way above normal temperatures for this time of year. Now here's what the next 7 to 10 days have in store for us. So very active, rather muggy and yet rather stormy. And I'll let you guys know exactly how much rain could be on the way. Even heavier amounts of rain could be on the way as we close out this week, as we go into the start of the weekend. I'll let you guys know exactly how much longer these rain chances are gonna last, and also let you guys know exactly when do we cool off and dry out. So here's what the next 7 to 10 days have in store for us. Now going to tomorrow, which is Thursday. So after low temperature night, 73 degrees, of course, very warm temperature with severe thunderstorms, breezy conditions, otherwise overcast and humid with thunderstorms. Low temperature night, 73 degrees with thunderstorms, around a few thunderstorms. Make sure your devices are charged tomorrow going to your Thursday. Expect mainly cloudy skies, otherwise it'll be breezy and humid with thunderstorms, which can bring flash flooding and damaging winds and even a tornado, similar to what parts of the area you have experienced today. So be prepared. So if you did not get storms at your house, you may get some at your house tomorrow, so be prepared. Have all your devices charged. High of 85, low of 74. Winds will be from the south-southeast at 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 39 miles per hour with a chance of rain 60%. Now going to your Friday, of course, it gets even warmer. Expect partly mostly cloudy skies. Otherwise, it will be very windy and humid with a few heavy thunderstorms. And watch for areas of flooding, of course. Then again, expect slow travel, especially if you're going to be traveling out and about. Now, this is for your Friday. High of 89, low of 73. Winds will be from the south-southeast at 16 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 49 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. And also going to your Saturday, expect even heavier rain. Expect strong thunderstorms, especially late in the day. Otherwise, it will be cloudy and breezy and somewhat milder. Of course, storms can bring flooding downpours, larger damaging wind gusts, and isolated tornadoes. So we can have multiple severe weather. We can have multiple severe weather threats on the way, even into Saturday. So Saturdays, of course, could be the start to your weekend could be a very wet day for us. High 77, low 52. Winds will be from the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Chance of rain 90%. And of course, on Sunday, we still have at least a lingering chance of rain since we have clouds around. So expect clouds around, a couple showers here and there, especially in the morning. Of course, we'll still have wraparound lingering moisture from this huge storm system for your Sunday with much cooler temperatures for your Sunday. High of 60, low of 45. Winds will be from the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. And of course, Monday we finally dry out with cooler temperatures. Expect partly cloudy skies. High of 67, low of 46. Winds will be from the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour and no rains expected. Tuesday, it will be a nice day for us with mostly sunny skies. High of 72, low of 50. Winds will be from the north-northeast at 7 miles per hour and no rains expected. My time to go to your Wednesday, we have mostly sunny skies, looking nice and rather seasonally pleasant with rather seasonally mild temperatures, looking nice. High of 74, low of 52. Winds will be from the south at 7 miles per hour and no rains expected. The way things are looking right now going into next week. Definitely enjoy that. Just have to get past the next few days first. Then expect wall-to-wall sunshine for next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. How do you like that? Wall-to-wall sunshine the way I have in the forecast as of right now. With highs in the upper 70s for next Thursday, which is the 10th. And we'll have highs in the low 80s for both next Friday, which is the 11th, and next Saturday, which is the 12th. So nice weather days. In fact, basically all of next week is looking rather dry. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to nice and pleasant spring-like weather as we go into the all of next week. We just have to get past these these very rough weather days, first of all. So again, very warm. We have 2 very warm days ahead of us. We'll have highs in mid to upper 80s for both tomorrow and Friday. And of course, we'll start to see temperatures easing down somewhat. We'll have highs in the mid to upper 70s for Saturday. Of course, we'll have highs close to 60 by Sunday. Much cooler temperatures. We'll have highs in the 60s for both Sunday and Monday. Then we'll see high temperatures in the 70s for both Tuesday and Wednesday, looking nice. And of course, I have a 60% rain chance for tomorrow, 70% chance for Friday, 90% chance for Saturday. That's when we're expecting heavy stuff to rain through the storm system. 30% chance for Sunday. We have lingering wrapper moisture from the storm system on Sunday, and looking totally drying out going into next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. No rain, and of course, estimated rainfall totals between now and the middle of next week. We're looking at least anywhere between 3 and 3.5 inches between now and the middle of next week. So all the heavy rain should wrap up no later than Saturday night, Sunday morning. So get prepared for additional rounds of storms that could linger at least until parts of the weekend. Well, that will be all that I have for you guys here on this Wednesday night. Once again, my name is Felton Parker. I'm officially signing off here. You guys have a good night, sleep peacefully, take care of yourselves and each other. Most of all, remain blessed and stay safe. Thank you.